came from humble beginnings and are all self-made. The Sharks know what it takes to build business empires from nothing into billions. And tonight, Silicon Valley veteran and self-made billionaire investor Chris Sacca joins the tank.
This is the highest valuation we've ever had on Shark Tank. We've never had any company for $40 million.
It scares the hell out of me. You've got the most valuable prime time airtime in the world right now, and you're blowing it.
Oh, I had no disrespect.
Regardless of what Chris Sacca thinks, the wannabe millennial.
Man, sometimes you sound really old.
This is the art of doing business.
You're not giving us that answer. We've asked you that like 20 times.
This is Shark Tank.
The best deals are ones where you squirm a little bit. I want to see you squirm.
First into the tank is a company hoping to revolutionize personal transportation.
Hi, Sharks. My name is Ryan Evans. I'm Dave Evans. And I'm Chris Alley. We are from Santa Cruz, California, and our company is Inboard Technology. We are seeking $750,000 in exchange for 4% equity stake in our company. Sharks, let's face it, getting around urban areas, it sucks. Jam-packed into crowded public transportation, or stuck in gridlock on your drive home, and just when you think you've beaten the system by riding a bike to work, you show up looking like a hot, sweaty mess. Our solution is the M1. The M1 is an electric skateboard that goes up to 20 miles an hour and has a range of 7 to 10 miles. We've integrated headlights and taillights so you're safe when you ride at night. Our in-wheel motor technology has no moving belts, no gears, and requires no maintenance. All this while looking and feeling like a real skateboard. At 14 pounds, you can easily carry the M1 into a crowded elevator, and I think we can all agree that parking is not going to be a problem.
Sharks, we're on the verge of a transportation revolution. Riding the M1 can turn your commute into a fun, easy, and exciting experience, and all for less than the cost of car insurance. Now, which one of you Sharks wants to get on board with Inboard, and more importantly, who wants to come up and try the M1?
I want to try that thing. I'll give it a shot.
Kevin, here we go.
All right.
So it's really easy to use. The big thing is that you've got 4 contact points with the ground, so it's really stable.
Well, it's for Kevin's weight.
We've actually tested it up to 1,200 pounds. Very strong. This is the safety. So you hold this to engage. It's just forward to go forward and back to go back.
So I can't move it unless I'm pushing this.
Exactly. Right? There we go.
You might want to hold Kevin's hand at the beginning. Yeah.
There you go. And pull back to brake.
Very cool.
Yeah, he's gone.
See you later, kiddies.
Oh, there he goes. He shreds.
Wow, very good.
Oh, yeah, baby. Okay, I like it. I like it. It's very cool.
Looking very good, Kevin. There you
That's
go.
because I'm very hip. That's it. I'm a skater dude.
I'm pretty sure there's other electric skateboards out there.
Yeah, that's correct.
Why is yours unique?
The fact that we've created the first ever in-wheel motor. It's actually one of the smallest hub motors ever created. The way we integrated the battery into the deck. But really, the biggest difference between us and our competitors is the way that we designed our company. From inception, we focused on scalability, high-volume manufacturing, and high-volume
How much have you raised?
To date, it's been $2.7 million.
Wow.
What was the value of the company after your last round?
We had a $10 million valuation after our last round.
So, did you say it can go uphill?
Yes.
And going downhill, what happens?
Actually, it brakes and it charges the battery while you brake. The greatest thing about the in-wheel motor technology, if you look at any of our competitors on the market, they all use an external motor that sits outside, and then ultimately a gear and a belt system that drives the motor.
All right, it's a skateboard.
Yes.
It's a toy.
We would disagree with that. A lot of people see that as their vehicle.
Really?
But that's a niche market.
Nobody is going to commute to work with a skateboard that isn't commuting to work with a skateboard today.
Man, sometimes you sound really old. This is happening today at scale.
Really?
Yeah, maybe not in Toronto because you have to dig out of snow half the year, but here in California it's happening at scale. I actually do see them as a vehicle or as a tool.
Yeah, but when Chris talks about scale, he's wrong. Just because you see individuals driving around on skateboards doesn't mean it's scale. One of my companies is working on reinventing the self-balancing hoverboards, right? There's challenges there, right?
Absolutely.
There's laws in terms of riding on the sidewalks, there's inclines, there's bumps in the road.
You're absolutely right. And so we've got some IP currently pending on some new form factors and designs that'll blow you away.
I just want to know, what does it cost?
The retail price is $13.99.
And what does it cost to make?
We have a direct margin of 65%.
How many people can afford $1,400?
The self-balancing boards, when they first came out, were $1,500, and they sold hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
So people want a better way.
Wait, didn't you just tell me that I'm wrong about scale, that this isn't going to scale?
It's a whole different beast. The skateboard market is completely different than the hoverboard because one is a lot easier to balance on. It's a lot easier to go forward and backwards.
You don't hang out on YouTube enough to see all the hoverboard fail videos, man.
No, you're wrong there. because not only have I seen all the YouTube videos, I've read the patents, so I know what's going on. There were two different markets. One is to get around your neighborhood, have fun. They weren't really definitive modes of transportation.
I see that market.
Right.
For sure.
So that's why they sold more. This, in terms of being a way to get to work, I don't think it's big enough right now for you to say you're going to change how people go to work.
When I lived in Manhattan, I basically planned my life around traffic. The M1, it's very easy to pick up and take in the subway, unlike a bike. If it starts to rain, I can call an Uber. I can put it right in the trunk.
But can I go back to one thing? Have you sold any?
Great question.
Right.
So we set up 9 global distributors that are going to carry out product. We have $5.6 million in pre-orders with those distributors, which we'll be able to fulfill by the end of this year. And people that live in
I think
apartments...
we see the merits of the product, we understand the risks. I'm interested, so I'm thinking about structuring an offer here. You need capital, so what about a deal like this? I'll drop the equity ask down to 2.5% and I'll loan you the $750, get an 8% balloon payment in 36 months.
It's the loan Shark Tank.
I'm taking 2.5% equity as a kicker.
What I'd like to do is first explain the difference in valuation from the last round to now.
Sure, you can do that, but no one's beating you up on that yet. I was going to do that work later.
Yeah, I figured that much, so
Thank
I'm just
you.
going to kind of preempt it.
Yeah.
So since the last round, we've de-risked the company considerably. Like I said, we
You don't
secured...
remember why it's de-risked? That's bad.
Sometimes it gets a little...
No, it's a bad time to pause.
I think so. We secured the largest contract manufacturer in the United States. We raised enough money to where we can get to be cash flow positive. We also are in talks with the largest big box retailer, Best Buy. So if it's okay with you, Mr. Wonderful, I'd like to hear from the rest of the panel.
I love toys. I mean, you name it, goes fast, it's risky, I'll do it. For your value, which I'm not even going to touch, I have to buy into the premise that this is a mass transportation product. And regardless of what Chris Sacca thinks, the wannabe millennial,
He's a little old for that now, isn't he?
Yeah,
there's an element of skill that you have to have in order to use it that the average older person is going to struggle with.
That would not be me because I was able to master the
he's
device.
the king on it.
I don't buy the premise of a mass transportation vehicle. I'm out.
This is a very crowded, competitive space. What I'm trying to do is invest in places that other people haven't noticed yet, and all eyes are on this. And so I might be a consumer, but in the end, I'm not going to invest, so I'm out.
Guys, like Chris said, there's a lot of people just focusing on that market. I think it's a stretch, partially because we compete, but for those reasons, I'm out.
Thanks, Mark. I really appreciate your time.
All right, Lori.
She was just trying to do Kevin's deal math over here.
I like it. I think it's very cool. I love ingenuity, but great, you have distributors. People think it's cool, but people in that business always think new things are cool. They're waiting for the next new thing. They buy 50, 100, 300, they test it. It doesn't mean they'll come back for more.
Look, I'm happy with my offer, but if she goes out, it won't be 2.5% equity because it's the nature of a shark when there's no competitors to make you pay a horrible price. You understand that? You should tell me if you're in or out. Am I competing with you or not?
Three sharks are out. Dave, Chris, and Ryan have one offer on the table from Kevin for their electric skateboard company, Inboard. But Kevin is threatening a worse offer if Lori goes out.
Am I competing with you or not?
I would give you the $750,000 loan, 8% interest, 36 month, 3% equity.
Is it possible we can discuss this as a team?
Absolutely.
Perfect. Awesome.
Half a point difference between the two of you. Otherwise, exact same offer.
Who do we want more as a partner? Do we want Mr. Wonderful or do we want Lori? Lori, she's got the retail side, and that can be a huge help.
What should we do?
All right, let's do it.
All right. Yeah, you say.
Okay. As many others have learned in the Shark Tank, when you leave the tank, stuff happens. And stuff did happen on this deal. Lori and I decided to get together on it, and we're going to split it, but there is a cost because it's your only offer. We're going to give you the $750,000 for 36 months at 8%, but we want 5% equity because we want 2.5% each. You get a whole lot of support for both of us, but you're going to have to pay a little bit more because you left the tank.
We want to do a deal that's going to actually get by our investors. We have a couple of founders that have exited from billion-dollar companies. You guys know how big the egos can be in those circles.
So have we.
We were going to counter your offer, $750,000, 8%, Lori's original deal, 3%, which we were going to turn down. But now that we have two sharks, we're going to be willing to do it.
So everybody understands.
Yes. Yeah.
Your counter is a $750,000 loan at 8% interest, paid off after 36 months.
Right.
And in exchange for that, you will give them 3% equity between the two of them.
1.5% each. That's
1.5%.
correct.
What do you say, Kevin? Lori?
Unfortunately, I've discussed this with my partner, Lori. We have no flexibility. The best deals are ones where you squirm a little bit. I want to see you squirm.
The squirmy is going to be when I go back to my investors and put that deal in front of them. There's no way I can go above 3% equity with a loan. How about this? We would be willing to pay more interest.
What about 11%?
Certainly not 11%. But
That's more.
I would do the, well, what's your counter? That is more. What's your counter on the equity if I paid you 9%?
All right, we'll do it at 9% at 4% equity. So $750,000 loan at 9%, which is nothing. At least let's just say we're shareholders, but really it's a tip. We'll do that deal. You should take
How about this? I'll do 10% interest. I cannot go above the 3% equity. 10% interest, 3% equity.
Why can you not go above the...
Because I just know what our investors have put as bounds is what they're willing to accept. And the fact that this is a loan...
You were offering 4% when you walked in here. Chris, when you walked in here,
yes,
you offered 4% for $750,000 straight equity. I don't think it's unreasonable to stay at the 4%, give you the $750 at 9%, you walk out of here with a deal. You know you could give us 4% because you asked for that in the beginning.
You know, I thought Ron was the best salesman I ever met in my life. I think you're just as good. You both have a deal.
Congratulations, guys.
Lori.
I bet you didn't expect me. Congrats.
Yes, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Ready? Yeah, here we go. For the last 2 years, we've been building a rocket ship at Import. Today, we put a big red button in front of Lori and Kevin, and they hit it. And we can't wait to ride this thing to the moon. Yeah, they did. Yeah. Hit that button, son.
In Season 7, mother and daughter team Gloria Hoffman and Linda Clark made a deal with Lori Grenier for their exercise device, the Simply Fit board.
I make millionaires this way. I'm going to offer you $125,000 at 20%.
Lori, we would love to accept your offer.
Let's see what they're up to now.
Before Shark Tank, we had done $575,000 in sales. 24 hours after being on Shark Tank, we did $1.25 million in sales. The very next day after Shark Tank, we went on to QVC and we sold out of the boards in just 6 minutes. Lori had the idea to produce a Simply Fit board infomercial. We expanded across the U.S. and now we're in Japan, Europe, all around the world. Now, just 7 months later, we are up to $9 million and it's still climbing. Oh my God.
Walmart's a big deal because they have a lot of stores, and we're in every single one of them.
When something changes your life, it's a crying moment.
To see the effect on Gloria, to see how much it's changed her life, that's why I do what I do. That's why I'm a shark.
I'm so thankful.
Nobody deserves it better than you guys. You've worked hard. You created something great. You're great people. My belief, what goes around, comes around.
Thinking about our journey, I get emotional every time. When you're a mom that wants to show your kids that anything is possible. I mean, I was a struggling mom to them, and overnight, my whole life changed.
That's perfect.
We are so thankful for our Shark Tank experience, and I think that Mom and I are proof that a grandma and a stay-at-home mom can become an overnight success. It truly is the American dream.
My name is Ronaldo Webb, and I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I grew up in New Orleans, and my sisters and I were raised by a single mom. My mom did everything to support us. She took a job as a cafeteria lunch lady to make ends meet. From an early age, I was always excited by science and math. I was the first person in my family to go to college. I went to MIT, where I got my degree in physics, and also found my passion for entrepreneurship and organization. After college, I got a high-paying job helping Fortune 500 companies with their manufacturing efforts. I traveled around the world, and I really got to see food production done at a massive scale.
Here you go.
I realized that the average consumer has no idea what's in their food and would be shocked if they knew how it was made.
So how's the business going?
It's good. My mom's gone through so much in her life. She made a lot of sacrifices for me to get to where I am, and I don't want to let her down. I gave up my job making over $250,000 a year. I can no longer help my family in the ways that I would like to. So if I don't get a deal from the Sharks, it's going to be hard for me to keep this going.
Hi, Sharks.
My name is Ronaldo Webb. This is Winston, and we're from Brooklyn, New York. I am the CEO and founder of Pet Plate, and Winston here, he's our Chief Tasting Officer. And together we're seeking $100,000 in exchange for a 10% stake in our company. Pet Plate is the only company delivering freshly cooked food tailored for your pet directly to your door. Now, Sharks, I'm sure you're familiar with the health issues plaguing Americans. Everything from cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure. This is all due in some way to what we eat. And unfortunately, many of these issues are now finding their way into our pets, from feeding them the scraps from our overly processed food supply chain. Over 60% of dogs and cats in America are overweight. Many more are suffering from serious issues such as diabetes and allergies. And 1 in 2 dogs in America will die from cancer. So, Pet Plate is solving this issue by educating and empowering pet parents to have healthier and happier pets. So, who wants to see what actually goes in the Pet Plate?
We do.
Bring it on.
So we only use all natural ingredients in Pet Plate, no different than what you'd buy at a grocery store to feed your own family. And today we brought over the ingredients for our lamb and vegetables dish. It contains very lean lamb. Get that in there. Then we also have eggs. This is all of our protein source. We use potatoes and sweet potatoes. Then we also add in...
Winston can smell it coming.
Then we add in some peas and carrots. We have pumpkin. This is for fiber. It makes the morning walks great. And then finally, we have our healthy oils and vitamins. So, Sharks, who wants to give Winston's favorite dish a try?
I'm in.
Mark.
I'm in.
Yeah, Mark will eat anything.
As I said, this is our lamb and vegetables dish here. All right, with you, Laura. Do you want to give it a little try as well?
Sure, I'll share with Chris.
Thank you.
You want to go first?
There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Oh man, that's a lucky dog.
Mark will try it.
Yeah, give it to Mark. He'll eat anything.
Perfect.
I don't know. And what's it like?
It's good.
Buddy, can you sit down? Go boy. Go boy. Okay, go.
Yeah.
Get it, Winston.
So this is a home delivery service
Yes.
for fresh, real food
Exactly.
for pets.
Exactly. So you can imagine it as a plated, for
Yes.
example, but it's freshly cooked, so ready to go from box to bowl as soon as you get your
Is it a
delivery.
subscription service? You sign
So
up?
right now, you can sign up for a month, 3, 6, or 12. Our average subscription length is 3 months right now.
What's
How
the
much does it
price?
cost,
The
Renato?
price?
So we charge this by the pound, so it varies by the price of your dog. If you have a small little Chihuahua, it's going to be around 30 bucks a month.
And how many meals do I get per month?
Here goes
So
the
you get your
table.
full. So you sign up on our website. You go in and you put in the weight of your dog, and then it takes you to our meal plan options. You can decide between getting the full Pet Plate meal plan subscription, so 14 meals a week, and then we space it out in terms of 2 deliveries a week for you.
And how much is it per week?
That's the size of the dog. How many times you got to say it?
All right,
so I got a
how many
Chihuahua.
subscribers do you have?
So we have just over 100 subscribers right now, 105.
100,
How long
that's
have
it?
you been in business?
For about 8 months now. We're actually just hitting the 8-month mark.
And
So-
it's just in New York? You're just
So
doing
right now
locally?
we can ship to anywhere within a 300-mile radius of New York City, but I am laser focused on making this an urban type of service.
Why don't you have more than 100 subscribers?
Right now I am a one-man show.
In order to emulate the models that are out there with the big guys, they've gone through this multi-year logistics problem of building centers in all the major areas so they can fulfill.
So how we're different is it's far simpler to cook for a dog. We have a set menu, about 6 options. We can cook about 200 to 300 pounds of food in about 3 to 4 hours.
What's your background?
I was born in New Orleans. My mom was a cafeteria worker at the local, public high school. I was passionate about science, mathematics, and I then went to MIT, where I graduated with a degree in physics there. I realized I wasn't the savant that was going to discover gravitational waves, even though I really wanted to. But I found my passion for organization and entrepreneurship. I traveled all around the world helping Fortune 500 companies with their supply chain, manufacturing, like on the factory floor. And that's where I got the bulk of my pet food experience. Watching this food get made, seeing the ingredients go in, and seeing why the health of American pets is, honestly, it's dismal. And, I really wanted to change that.
Wow, Ronaldo, you're one impressive guy.
Yeah, very
Thank you.
impressive.
Thank you.
But I'm curious, so you quit your job
Yes.
then, and you're running this full time
Exactly.
by yourself?
But the delivery couriers we use, they're being paid in full. We're still losing a little bit of money on the per delivery cost.
How much did you raise, Ronaldo?
I didn't raise any money.
Good for you.
So
You used all your own money?
I put in about $80,000 of my own money in.
Good for you.
Wow.
My big issue with this deal is knowing that the challenges we had with Plated to get scale, you're going to need a ton of money.
No, you're not. We're
Why not?
already delivering and doing over 150 deliveries with one courier.
Where's the tipping point? How do you get to,
So when we hit 500
Yeah.
dogs, this is a $500,000 business.
why don't I, in a commercial kitchen, create the best pet food, premium product, but not make it completely fresh? Why deliver it to people?
If it kind of came down to it and I realized, you know what, I need to put natural preservatives in this to win, that's what I would do.
See, Ronaldo, for me, I see you as a real hero. My concern is I see this as a challenging business because of obstacles that have to do more with how many people will care enough to invest in the fresh home-cooked meals. Robert's point of pivoting possibly and creating something that's easier to sustain seems to make sense to me, but it doesn't fit your mission. I wish you the best, but I'm out.
Thank you, I appreciate all the feedback on that, Lori.
I'm not sure that the market is there. If there was a cause in a small community that's deeply passionate about their dogs, it would have spread to more than 100 users after 8 months. I'm sorry. I admire what you're doing, but I don't see the business right now. I'm out.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Chris, I noticed you haven't asked a question. I would love to be able to give into why I believe there's a market
I'm deeply
for this.
conflicted in this deal, man. I hear about your background, and I think to have attained that is incredibly impressive. To go as a black kid from New Orleans to MIT and to have all that educational achievement is incredible. You're like the dream partner I would love to work with or back in any of our companies. Problem is, you chose the one that we're competing with you in from Uber, Rush, right? We're pushing couriers all over the world right now, and we're moving food all over the world right now. So for me, it's hard to get super excited about funding a guy who's going to knock right head on into one of our businesses. If this thing doesn't pan out, please get in touch immediately, because I know we'd be a great force, but I can't do this deal. I'm out.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that.
Ronaldo, I think you're amazing, right? Your accomplishments speak for themselves. The thing about the pet business, whether it's food or otherwise, is that it's an all-in business. You've got to eat, sleep, and drink pets 24/7. But I'm not a 24/7 pet guy, and you need that infrastructure and support around you from people who have that same mindset. I'm out.
Thank you.
I'm living this right now with Plated, and they're doing quite well, but they've learned the hard way how difficult it is to scale. Our biggest issue remains to be the competition for customers, and we are delivering, and we're having to sustain customers. I'm sorry. I'm not going to take the journey with you. I'm out.
Thank you.
Congratulations, man. You're going to crush it.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for the time. I am feeling a lot of frustration just because I'm tired of hearing no. But it doesn't matter how hard I have to work. So, yeah, very frustrated, but, you know, it's never going to be easy, and I know that. And it never has been, so.
We knew our business more than anyone else in the world. This power pose. This is my house. This is our house.
Thanks, Rolly. Stay by.
Yes, go.
Next up is a new generation of products designed to optimize physical and mental function.
Hey Sharks, my name is Jeffrey Wu.
My name is Michael Brandt. We're from San Francisco, California.
Our company is NutriBox, and we're seeking $2 million in exchange for 5% stake in our company.
Hello.
So NutriBox isn't any ordinary company. We're a team of biohackers, researchers, and technologists, and we develop, manufacture, and sell nootropics. Nootropics are a rapidly growing market of brain-enhancing consumables and supplements.
We're from Silicon Valley, where some of the most creative and ambitious people in the entire world are. These people are constantly trying to eke more productivity out of each and every day.
Biohacking is all about the experimentation and controlling of inputs into the human body, as if our bodies are a complex but still understandable computer system.
We looked at something that hundreds of millions of Americans put into their body on a daily basis. Classic cup of coffee. We've looked at ways to re-engineer coffee for something that's significantly better for performance.
And it's called Go Cubes Chewable Coffee. It's convenient and portable. You can put it right in your pocket. And unlike any ordinary cup of joe, it's precisely dosed with caffeine and other nootropics to get the kick of coffee, but it's much more balanced and steady.
The future of coffee is here, and we want you sharks to take a bite out of it.
Can we try it?
Yeah.
So Jeff, just want to be clear, it was $2 million for 5%.
Correct.
And to be clear, you named it after me, Cubes, right?
Of course.
Thank you.
Sure.
Do you mind if you tell us more about what's in them before we eat them? I don't want to get roofied.
So you have 3 different flavors of Go Cubes. From lightest to darkest, you have latte, drip coffee, and mocha. Each cube has 50 milligrams of caffeine. It's a half a cup of coffee.
How much sugar?
6 grams of sugar per cube.
Oh, wow, it's really good.
And one thing that's really great about Go Cubes is because it's exactly that 50 milligrams of caffeine, you know exactly what you're getting.
But this is not the first supplement type item that has a defined amount of caffeine in it.
So our background is biohackers, right? So
First, lots of people call themselves biohackers. 2 years ago, it was just someone who was trying to come up with a better formulation. So
yeah, but
let's just talk in terms of what you're actually doing.
Yeah, so I think in terms of actually speaking about the community.
A community of what?
Of people that are biohacking with us.
So for instance, we fast. We do intermittent fasting on a weekly basis, where for 36 hours straight, we consume 0 calories.
Why is that
water.
good?
So actually, caloric restriction is actually one of the most compelling ways to increase longevity.
So you're looking at nutrition, you're looking at activity, you're looking at sleep, you're looking at all these different things and how they impact the body.
Yeah.
So there is a space here. But
Okay, but why is this cube worth $40 million?
We started the business in 2014. We did 55,000 in sales, and we've done year to date almost $1 million revenue, and we're getting 17% month-over-month revenue growth.
Are you guys scientists? Are you guys engineers?
We're computer scientists.
Both of you are computer scientists?
We have 4 MD PhDs on our team.
Okay.
Let's go back to the basics. What is this product?
Yeah.
Why is this
performance?
special?
So there's an amino acid found in green tea called L-theanine. So caffeine and L-theanine together. So there's actually a bunch of trials showing the effects of that active combination ingredient versus caffeine alone versus placebo. So simple reaction time reduces 50% more in terms of, so a baseline 330 milliseconds.
Okay,
So what
better
benefits?
absorption.
Yeah,
Okay.
simple reaction time, increased semantic memories.
Hey, Robert, you just ate one of these. Can you remember where we are in this pitch? Hey, you've got an opportunity to tell this story to 8 to 10 million Americans right now on a recurring basis. The most valuable prime time airtime in the world right now. And you're blowing it. Tell this story.
Well said, Chris.
Look, there's things out there that are better for your cognition than just your ordinary cup of coffee. We're at the forefront of doing research and actually figuring out what these things are and telling the story about it.
Guys, I've made a lot of money as an investor obeying the laws of gravity. And I think you guys are flying very close to the sun. Your valuation is the highest I've ever seen on the carpet. I'm not saying you can't pull it off, but it won't be with my money. I'm out.
Thanks.
Jeff, this is the highest valuation we've ever had on Shark Tank.
For sugar cubes.
We've never had any company for $40 million. At what point does the company become worth that?
Like when you go to invest in Apple, you're not investing in Apple because of their current product.
Let him go.
You're investing in Apple because of their approach to technology, their ability to do R&D, to productize, and to bring it to market.
But that's
you
what
are
we're
not
asking, though. We're
investing.
trying to get
You're
it
not
You're not
buying
giving
a
us
stock.
that answer, Mike.
and
You're
you
not
gave
giving us
us
the answer.
sugar
We've asked you that like 20 times.
2 billion cups of coffee are drank every day. People like coffee. That's everyone's go-to nootropic. That's what people
Different
eat
market though, Michael. It's a
But
different market.
It's not really different because that's what people have for performance. Why are people mixing powders on the
Michael,
off the
I
internet?
accept the fact that you guys are really smart. But there's a responsibility that you have when you're presenting a $40 million value. If you can't justify that today, I'm not really listening to you anymore. Because I can't get over that single thought. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care what your background is. I don't think you did a good job of explaining that to me. I'm out.
All right, thanks.
I mean, look, I'm not offended at all by your price. And I can see how you could get to your type of price based on your sales or trajectory. That said, it scares the hell out of me. I've tried nootropics. That's what people use to go on 48-hour coding binges. But at the end of the day, you're left with a headache, lack of recall. Sometimes I'm worried about the long-term consequences, and so I'm out.
All of our ingredients are generally regarded as safe.
Generally regarded is not the same as safe.
I think that you're much more into the scientist brain and not realizing that some of us up here weren't understanding what it was you were trying to sell to us. I feel it would be helpful to you if you got somebody who was more sales-oriented that would be able to communicate for you when you need it about what your vision is in going down the sales path. I am out, not investing today, but I wish you good luck.
Appreciate it.
Part of the problem in Silicon Valley is that the valuations are priced to perfection because that's their approach. And if you were to come in here priced with uncertainty, okay, then we might have been able to make the deal, but you priced it in a Silicon Valley way, and so I'm out.
Cool. All right, thanks so much.
Thank you, guys.
Good luck, you guys.
Thank you,
Good luck, guys.
You're on.
Biohacking is going to spawn multi-billion-dollar companies, right? So $40 million valuation, you know, it's going to be cheap in the long run.
It just scares the hell out of me as an investor, and it scares the hell out of me as a human being because I don't think we know the long-term
Dude,
consequences.
it scares the hell out of me. 40 million for sugar.
Next into the tank are entrepreneurs with a product that makes gourmet cooking a breeze.
Hello, Sharks. My name is Lisa, and this is my husband, Abe. We're the founders of Namiku, and we hail from San Francisco.
We're seeking $250,000 in exchange for 5% of our business.
The top chefs of the world have a secret tool. Sous vide is a method of cooking where you take vacuum-sealed food and put it in a precise, low-temperature water bath. It's a Top Chef's secret weapon because it allows you to craft delicious, perfect dishes, conveniently and consistently. When I worked at top-tier 3 Michelin-star restaurants, I lusted after these machines, but they were thousands of dollars. Luckily, I met him at the gym. That's where you pick up plasma physicists. And he made an at-home version just for me. It changed our lives. And now we're changing the lives of home cooks everywhere with the first ever home sous vide immersion circulator.
Take any pot and fill it with water. Then you clip Namiku to the side of the pot. You put your ingredients and seasonings into a zip seal plastic bag, put the bag in the water, and walk away. Our app controls the time and the temperature so that you come back to a perfectly cooked meal.
With a little bit of TV magic, we have some steaks that have been cooked already with the Namiku. Because we're cooking at a low temperature, it doesn't have that delicious crust around it. We're gonna finish that right now.
How long does it take to cook?
2 hours. But you don't have to babysit it. You can just put the bag in and walk away.
So Lisa, we're sharks. Are we going to get to try some?
Absolutely. So we start with a perfectly cooked shrimp cocktail, and then we have that perfectly cooked steak, and we have a chocolate coconut custard.
Lisa, what did you used to do? Because you're a natural at this.
Thank you. I worked in the restaurant industry, and I'm the face of the company, so I give a lot of talks. And now, folks, this is a mule that we made for you with vodka that's been Namiku'd with rhubarb, strawberry, and limes.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Thank you so much, Scott.
The steak is fantastic.
At some point, you were discussing the value of this business, $5 million, right?
Yes,
You must have sales.
we do, Kevin.
All right.
So we've sold them since 2012. We have
$3 million in sales.
Wow.
So how and where have you been selling it?
We sold them direct from our website and from online retailers, and we just got a PO from Williams-Sonoma.
I'm not a big chef. Why would I do this instead of making it on a stove or on a barbecue? What's the benefit of this whole process?
It's one-button cooking. It's like a slow cooker. A
Just set it and forget it.
I cook as well. I like to do Burgundian dishes.
What is
What's a Burgundian dish?
Burgundy, for example, calf's liver. You do not want to overcook it.
So Lisa, I know any
Do
of
you
that
do that
stuff.
without ordering
Could you tell
from
us
your
what it
kills?
costs?
Yes, it costs $199.
How much have you raised?
So in 2012, we had a seed round of $875K, and then last year we did a note of $2 million.
Oh, $2 million.
Last year. So what was the valuation of the seed round?
The seed round is $6 million.
And then was there a warrant on the note?
The note is the 10 cap.
The note to convert?
Correct. It's straight convert.
Guys, I think it's a great product, but I just don't see the momentum that I think you should have. I don't really understand the competitive threat since I don't know the industry. So I'm out.
So grateful for your time, Mark. Thank you.
I have had sous vide before. I think it's interesting, but I do think that a lot of people just like to throw a steak on the grill and they don't want to do a secondary step to char their meat or get it crispy. I'm not going to invest. I wish you the best. I'm out.
Thank you very much, Lori.
Let me just clear the deck. Sous vide, move vide, it's all French to me.
It is French.
The idea of planning my meal like that is just foreign. And I like to invest in stuff that I have a taste for. It's just not a market for me. I'm out.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's funny, it doesn't matter what it's called, it just tastes delicious. And I just want to know, how did you get to the valuation you asked for here?
We expect to have $5 million in revenue in the next 12 months, and our valuation is consistent with other companies with that sort of revenue projection.
Basically, you're not going to make much money even off the $5 million.
But are you coming in under the cap of the last round?
We know that if we bring a shark on, you guys are going to be very hardcore.
You see the value of having a shark on the team.
That's right.
We do.
Well, you have 2 sharks left, Kevin and Chris. Let's see, Lisa, if you can get a deal from one or both of them.
I would love both because one shark is like a volcano. 2 sharks is like a lightning striking that volcano. Sharknado.
Sharknado!
I have 2 constituencies that I think this would appeal to. One are the customers of Plated, of which I'm an investor. They'll be supportive of a shark deal, obviously. And the other are my 250,000 people who have bought my wines. They're all foodies. I make the suggestions, they believe me because I'm really good at it, and I have the palate. I'll do this deal, $250,000, I want 10%.
We really respect that offer. Thank you.
It comes from the heart.
Well, we'd love to hear what Chris has
I
to
would
say.
too.
Chris? That's 10% of your company. Are you going to take a board seat over there?
I don't need a board seat, I need 10%.
Are you going to co-office with them?
No, my bottom line is this is a lot of risk, and you know it too.
I'm very curious, though, about this equity. Let's talk about how those notes work. So you had $2 million worth of investment come in on a document that says, we're investing as if the price were $10 million. But later on, the price is $5 million, and they convert into the company subject to that $10 million cap. They comes all the way down at a big discount now. Those investors are going to own most of your company. You guys as the founders aren't going to own anything.
Just to be clear, if you do a deal at $5 million, how much of the company do you end up owning? How much do the investors end up owning?
Right now we own 51%.
Well, you're not after this.
The biggest allure to this deal is you, Lisa. I think you're the package right here.
Thank you.
I love your presence. I love how well you've handled these questions. You're an amazing entrepreneurial force. As we talk about the terms of this deal, though, I really get worried when I see a deal that leaves you not owning much of the company at all. How do you help me get past that?
Sure. We're here with that deal to make it appetizing for you. That's why I'm
So are you throwing my deal under the bus?
I get that, but I don't want to work with people who don't have a ton of upside left in their own company. They're not happy.
We'd love to give you
Lisa,
advisor
I'm
shares.
gonna make it easy
Chris
for you.
Sacca,
I'm going to make it easy
give us a
for
deal.
you. I'm out.
Four sharks are out. Chris Sacca is interested in Abe and Lisa's sous vide machine, Namiku, but is concerned that his investment would result in them diluting their equity so much they would no longer have skin in the game.
The best deals are the deals where we are all super excited to get out of bed every morning because we're all going to make a lot of money. We're all going to have a positive impact. So if we go and do this deal, you guys will be diluted to the teens. And so at the end of this round, how much of the company would you guys like to own? See, I think a couple owning 10% of the company doesn't get it done.
Okay, what do you
think?
It's the craziest deal I've ever seen.
I don't want you guys to shoot yourselves in the foot.
We won't.
If this is your life's work and this is your passion, you should be fighting as hard as you can to not give it away.
We're listening to you. We're listening to you because this takes off with us together.
Here's my offer. I'm going to give you $250K for 10% of the company, contingent upon you going back to your other investors and making sure you get enough stock back from them that you own 40% of the company at the end of the deal. I get 10, you get 40, they get 50.
Would you be open to a counter of 8%?
Oh my gosh, really? After all that work he did for you and looked out for you, you're going to rake him over for 2%?
I'm doing what he told me to do.
I don't think you're pausing to think about it. I think you're just reflexively trying to squeeze a couple more points out of me. So pause.
Don't
and
negotiate
think
for the
about it.
sake of negotiating.
Okay.
That deal's not possible without taking down your other investors about 50%.
They know that.
But they get to negotiate with
Those
them.
investors are all grown-ups who got into a risky company earlier on. Do we have a deal?
We're going to take it.
All right, let's do it.
Thank you.
Right on.
Congratulations.
Cheers. Right on, man.
Thank you.
Hey, congrats. This is cool.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you,
All right, guys.
Bye. Oh, they're skipping.
Oh, they're skipping down.
Wow, Chris Sacca is the freaking bomb. We're going to get such a fighter on our side. He really loves us and looked out for us. That was amazing.
They obviously undervalued themselves around the first
Look, Chris, I think it's a great deal for you. I really, really do.
The earlier investors took a risk. They knew they were taking a risk. Things didn't play out for them exactly like they
It's
wanted.
not the first
And so
down
I don't
round.
feel bad taking it out of their
It's not the first down round. It's not the last down round.
That's true.
That'll ever happen.
Next time on Shark Tank, bring on the cheer.
Hi, Santa.
It's a special holiday episode.
I'm about to let you in on one of the North Pole's best kept secrets.
What does it cost me?
15 grand, give or take.
I need Mark Cuban on the phone with me.
Everybody needs a Mark Cuban.
Do a spin. There you go. What are your sales?
15,000.
Your building is on fire.
Hello.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
What's the difference between your product and